Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name's Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott, and our fabulous guest today is
Chris Walters from Liverpool John Moores University. Yay!
Yay. Thank you for joining us, Chris. We know you're super busy and you've been in about half an hour, and we'll have a little chat about that as well. So we do have a little format, Chris, that we follow. Okay, so we are going to shout out to the kids, any little people who've done amazing things. They like for their name to be listened to, and then they get off. So yeah. That's why we have to do it. We used to do it halfway through, didn't we? And then we did it at the start, so they can just get off once we heard the names. So, San, have you got any little people you want to shout out to?
Yeah, well, they're not that little, but I'd like to say a shout out. I've got all my kids doing exams, haven't I, this week and next week. And today was the Spanish this morning. There was RE, I don't teach that. So I had 5 doing Spanish GCSEs today. People the listening and the reading, and then I've got they've got a second one next week. I've got A-levels French going, A-levels Spanish. So all my little munchkins who aren't that little doing their exams this week. So they're proud of them all, and they've all worked really hard.
Brilliant. Massive shout outs, and keep going, everyone. Keep going. It's hard, isn't it? You come back from half term and you go straight into exams. So they just need to
you've had the half term to revise.
So I know I'm past all that now. Lucy's grown up, so I know I do remember it well.
My lad's 25. You're just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, same.
I don't know anyone who revised in the summer holidays or in half term. Just saying.
No.
Me and Chris are on that page, is right. Okay. I am going to shout out to all of the little people in AIM, so Autism in Motion. So on a Friday, we took Lou, our big interactive playground, and it was roasting, wasn't it, on Friday? It was like one really, really hot day. And they come in and they played and they had a ball. And a big shout out to little Vivian, because she is just like the cutest little button in the world. And she was like, Helen, put the one where we take the frog to the dentist. And I was like, okay. So we put that one on, and she was just made up with herself, and she was just hilarious. So massive shout out to all of them for playing in
the game as well. The dentist one.
Yeah, Brush is ace. So massive shout out to them for playing while it was dead sunny. So yeah, brilliant. And they did amazing. All of the half funding was out, wasn't it? So the half term funding where they feed the kids and they do activities, and all the community venues in the city have this funding, and they just do amazing things. They really look after the kids and take them on trips and go to really cool places. So big shout out to all the kids who accessed the half-funded half-term activities. So what about you, Chris? Have you got any little people that you want to shout out to?
Well, I went to see my cousin's brand new baby called Nellie Richards on Sunday.
Boss name. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, Penelope Richards. So my cousin's little baby, and she is so adorable and cute. So that's my big heart shout out to. She's just adorable. So a big shout out to 1 week old Nellie Richards. There you go.
Oh, it's right. I love that.
Nellie's gorgeous name.
I know. I would never think that Penelope was Nellie.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I thought, is that? And I thought, I'm not going to own up to that, but you have, so I will too.
Yeah. Because Helen, so when I was little, they used to skip me, and they used to call me Nellie because Nellie Pledge, because they used to do me head in. So my big cousins used to call me that, and that was short for Helen. So I was thinking, oh, Nellie, I didn't know. Yeah, I just thought Nellie was just its own little name. But Penelope, makes sense now. Oh, gorgeous, 1 week old.
Yeah, 1 week old. And then apart from that, I always shout out to the guys who we work with at MCT, because all the young entrepreneurs at MCT, my MCT, are just fab, doing wonderful things week in and week out. And that's a constant shout out for me.
Oh, brilliant.
Shout out to them all doing dead hard work. And we'll find out what MCT is and all those sort of things as we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Dave Verberg's listening in. 3 legends. Can I have a bag of 10p pieces for the till, please, Christine?
I know what he's talking about there. So that's because I used to work in the NatWest Bank. And at the age of 16, Dave used to come into our branch in Litherland and Bimble.
When he had hair.
I know. he still looks the same.
Oh, and John Howie's listening in. John Howie says,
Oh,
hi,
hello,
guys. A big shout out to John, our past guest, John. So and Dave Verbeek goes, like that. Okay. So, success this week, something amazing that's happened to you personally, San?
Personally? Well, I think personally, one of the biggest things for me this week was actually my mum and dad's 61st wedding anniversary.
Wow. We need to give them a clap.
So for me, I'm happy because I've still got both my mum and dad, which is very rare for at my age, which is great. So that personally,
61 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Actually being able to take them out. And I actually took them to my old bank where I knew Dave because it's a restaurant now.
But that's good.
So,
how lovely is that?
That's probably one of a personal success that makes me happy.
Yeah, 100%. Marty Sang is listening in and he says, awesome. So we love that. Marty's one of our past guests as well. So that's cool.
Brilliant.
Amazing. I love that.
And also, personally, but in conjunction with all my colleagues, we started the summer school as well in work. So work-wise, the summer school started today. So.
Brilliant. And we'll find more about the summer school in a little bit. Yeah, because it's like dead exciting. There's loads of like cool stuff going on in the city. Yeah. San, what's your success this week?
I went to circuit this morning for the first time in age. Is it a year? Probably. No, it's a long time. I went back to circuit and I had a little knock. I had an accident the other month and everything, so it was a bit stiff and that. But I was made up. I was so happy I did it. And even though I was there, not the most participatory people, and I did my best though, but I enjoyed it. And it was all day I was made up. I went and I thought, good, I'm back to that now. And I do breakfast Spanish first thing on a Thursday, but that course finishes in a few weeks at that time. And I thought, right, I'll pick up the Thursdays as well. So I'm really happy about it.
Well done, you. And it was lovely to have you back because it's been very quiet.
Without moans.
You've never heard moaning like it, Chris, honest to God. But it's all great. It's all good. We've missed it. We have a good laugh. We do have a good laugh. So my success, I think, is that Rach and I have just come in from a 5K run.
Wow.
So we're doing the 10K Port Sunlight run on Sunday, and we booked it 4 weeks ago. And we were like, right, we've got 4 weeks to do this, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we've been on 2 runs in those 4 weeks because of circumstances. And then we were like, I was like, mate, it's the race on Sunday. She went, no, it's the Sunday after. I was like, it's not. So we've been on one today, so we'll be sound.
Yeah,
so,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. And it's just about getting round. So John Lowe's listening in and he says, wow, Charlie's Angels.
He's gorgeous. I love him. Absolutely adore him.
Brilliant. So that's my shout out. Right, we're going to play this or that. Sam, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first today.
Perfect.
If you like. Okay, then. Christine, working in the bank or working at John Moores University?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. Well, if it was back in the 80s, I would say the NatWest Bank because it was such fun then. So yeah. I'll say the university now because I'm ever the diplomat.
Well,
don't you have a great time though when you're young and you think back where you used to work and you just have a ball and in work and stuff when you were a kid?
Oh, the bank was hilarious, honestly. All the different characters. And, it was just, my best friends are still my best friends from the bank from starting when I was 16, yeah. And that's the characters you met were just unreal. So, yeah.
How cool is that?
So I've always wanted to work in a bank, but I want to work in downstairs in like the vault bit, when you get like the secret passwords. And I've always wanted a safety deposit box.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Do you know when you used to open that safe and put all the cash away? It meant nothing to you.
I know.
It was bizarre.
I know. I want it like full of gold bullions, but I want it to be mine.
You might have got sacked.
I know. What about you, San? Bank or uni?
When you used to have to go into the bank all the time, I've always thought it must be the most stressful thing ever, because I would be panic stricken that the money wouldn't be right or something like that. Part of this is because I can't add up, obviously, but I would just be petrified with the money at the end of the day. So I just used to think nightmare from hell. So I'd rather work anywhere but a bank. It's the responsibility would have killed me.
Yeah. Danny de Brabant is listening in, and he says, hello ladies, hope you're all doing okay. We are, and we hope you are as well, Danny. And I have my jumper on today, and the amount of people who stop me and ask me about my jumper. So Danny has been our guest twice. He's very lucky. And he's sent the gorgeous Mindset jumper, and loads of people. So I've passed them all your way, Danny. So hopefully get packing some jumpers and send them out.
I had
Peter Lloyd. And you had your pink one on, didn't you? Yeah. Peter Lloyd's listening, and he says, good luck on the run, Helen. Thanks, Peter. Not as good as your marathon, but we're going there.
Not as good as his Peace Garden, which has come on loads. I
walked past it today.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? We should go and have a coffee and sit in there and
we
have
will.
it thinking while the weather's
do that. I'll play chess with you.
Last time I saw you both, you were on your way to the Peace Garden.
We were. You were going that way and we were going that way. That's right. Yeah.
We went to the launch. Yeah.
We did. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It's boss. Okay. I'm going to ask, okay, Chris, I'm going to ask you first. Ibiza or Marbella?
Ibiza. Yeah.
What about you, Stan?
I'm not a Marbella kind of girl.
Let a finger out, yeah.
No.
You don't want the white togas.
Ibiza, definitely, especially as it's just been so awesome the last month. With Ali and Paula. Yeah.
I love that. Go on, San.
I think I'd rather go to Ibiza.
Yeah. Ibiza, hands down. Ibiza. I love Ibiza.
Yeah.
Ibiza's amazing. Yeah. Marbs is all right, but Ibiza. So Dave Verbeek says Ibiza, we know this. So yeah, so he would go to Ibiza as well. Perfect. Go on, San, your second question.
Okay, well, at the moment, we're being sponsored by the Childcare Academy, which is a nursery in the Baltic area. So I'm going to ask a question relating to that. So when you were a child, did you prefer to do jigsaws or Lego?
Oh, I was a jigsaw girl. Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't have any Lego in our house.
Oh.
I think we were poor.
Lego was expensive.
We were a jigsaw gang. Yeah.
I love Lego, but I preferred jigsaws when I was a kid. Jigsaws were like my favourite thing.
Yeah. I had to wait till I was older and play with all the other kids' Lego.
Yeah. So Marty Sang says Lego, hands down. Peter Lloyd says Lego. I'm saying Lego. And I've become, like, the past couple of weeks I've become a Lego, like, obsession now. I've got an obsession with Lego. So I got some vouchers for Christmas, and I bought myself the flowers, like the bouquet of flowers, because I thought I can't kill them. So I bought them out of Lego and absolutely loved it. It was just amazing. Then I bought the camper van. And then last week I bought the slush van. So I haven't made me slush. So every bank holiday I'm going to buy myself some Lego to make. So I've bought the little slushy van.
Oh, this is your new business venture, I reckon.
Just honest to God, it's just like dead chilled. I'm just like
therapeutic. No, I love Lego when you felt like the way you can make something now and that. I think that's great and everything. But for a little one.
So yeah, I love jigsaws as well. Jigsaws are decent.
Okay. You'll go.
Right. I know the answer for Sandra on this one. All right, okay. But when you were little and you went to nursery or you went to school, so in the sort of like the Childcare Academy theme, okay, fish fingers, chips and beans, or fish finger, chips and peas?
It was fish finger, chips and beans.
Yeah, 100%. Beans, I'm the same.
Still is now.
So because I didn't come to England till I was 7.5, I'd never seen a fish finger. I'd never seen beans. We didn't have hot dinners at school. That wasn't a thing in Canada. You took a packed lunch. So when I came in, I went to school. I thought the school dinners were the worst things I'd ever seen in my life. And when I went to secondary, they were really good, but in primary, they were just absolutely shocking. And I just thought everything was awful. But so it would be, what was my choice? Fish fingers and peas. Obviously, no beans because they should be illegal. But the peas, then chips and peas and fish fingers. Yeah, I'd have that.
Yeah. I loved our school dinner. Our school cook was amazing. She just did like the best school dinners ever. Yeah. Go on, San. What's yours?
My last question. Okay, then. Would you rather go out to a restaurant with friends for an evening or go to a club?
Restaurant, hands down. Yeah. Even in Ibiza, we didn't go clubbing. We went to restaurants.
that closed at 6 a.m.
Yeah. You know what? I'm at that age where it's restaurants, hands down, I'm afraid.
To people.
And the night we did go on the sunset cruise, I was in bed by 10 to 11.
I love that.
What about you, Helen?
I love a restaurant, but 100% clubbing. 100% clubbing. I love it. I love I just love it.
I love a restaurant and a meal with friends. You can chat and have a nice evening and that, generally speaking. But when we went out for the Eurovision and we finished at 5:30 in the morning, it was the best thing ever. And we were dancing all night and it was just superb. I was dead proud of myself for keeping going.
Maybe I should retract my answer because we had a ball at Eurovision too. It was great, wasn't it?
Where did you go afterwards, Chris?
We ended up in the Malmaison, dancing away with some Canadians and Americans and all sorts of
brilliant,
lovely people. You know, it was.
Fantastic.
We were all feeling the love, you know.
Yeah,
it was just amazing, wasn't it? It was just everybody just loved everybody. It was just like the most loveliest vibe that I've ever been to. I think
it was.
We got a kebab at 5:30 in the morning, and it was late. I was so proud of myself. I was made up.
So and then got the bus home.
I was a couple of hours. I was 4 a.m. on Eurovision.
Well, great. I think everyone was just like, I bet it must have been like a ghost town on Sunday. What happened? It was such a good time.
So Marty Sang says that Jules doesn't let him have beans. Oh, Marty. She doesn't let him have beans. No, never mind, Mart. Okay, my last question is roast and hot day. Would you rather have a bottle of beer or a bottle of cider?
A bottle of cider. Oh. I don't drink beer.
Do you go fruity cider or apple? No, don't you?
Which?
Did you say you don't really drink then?
Beer.
No, I don't drink beer. So I'm opting for the cider.
Okay.
Doesn't matter whether it's scrumpy or not. I'll give me the cider.
Same.
Cider for you, son?
Yeah, I don't really drink cider, do I? But I definitely drink beer. I'll have a beer with lemonade or something on a scorching day, but I'm not really, I don't drink stuff like that.
No.
Same.
No, I'm 100% lager. Yeah, on a roast and hot day, nice lager. Jane Smith is listening and she says she doesn't drink. Loads of question marks, Chris.
Slip of the tongue thing. She did.
Jane, you know I don't drink beer.
Yeah, it was the beer that we missed out on the end, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, Jane says wine and ice all the way. Wine and ice.
Okay. Like a wine spritz or something's much nicer. Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah, definitely.
Very nice. I like that. Cool. Okay. So, massive thank you, Chris. We know a little bit more about you now. We're going to find out loads more. So we're going to hand it over to you, I know, and we're just going to ask questions at the same time because that's what Sandra and I do. We ask the same question at the same time. Yeah, interrupt each other as we go along. So lots of people know Chris already, and, you know, what we want to know is how you got from the bank at 16 to working in John Moore's now, and like a little journey as you went through. And then what you're doing in, you know, what John Moore's has got, Liverpool John Moore's has got to offer, you know, the people. Yeah. So you and I met and we were talking about all the courses that are available. So we want to talk about them and how people can access it, and just all the cool stuff that they're doing for the people of the city. So when you were 16, you worked in the bank. What happened next?
Right. I'll try and cut this short because it's a very long time ago, isn't it? So obviously I joined the bank at 16 on a YTS. I worked damn hard to make sure I got kept on because I thought, right, this is my opportunity to make something of myself. And I was kept on 12 months later at 17. And I was the first person to be kept on in the UK in a high street bank who didn't have O-levels in maths and English. I only had CS. I did have O-levels, but they were in art and design and textiles. How I got into finance is beyond me. So, cut a very long story short, 18 years in the bank, worked damn hard, and it was the university of life for me. So, within them 18 years, I learned how to read accounts, became a business manager.
Wow.
Had staff, and then 18 years, it was 2002, and RBS took over NatWest, and it was basically the start of the banking crisis for me when RBS took over NatWest. One of the reasons I left NatWest, because I did love it, was Fred the Shred, as we know from RBS, Fred Goodwin and Benny Higgins, all of them people who robbed everybody's money, who took us all into a room and said, right, everyone from NatWest, and they switched the lights off in the MEN arena, switched it off. There was about 600 of us, and they made us snap emergency lighting and go, right, we are all going to work together. And it was like this, some like crazy egotistical maniac on the stage. And I walked out that day. In fact, I was with Ali Mack, because we were both business managers together. And I walked out and I turned around and I went, I'm getting out of here, mate. It's the writings on the wall. Yeah. So a year later, I actively went and searched for alternative employment. And I became an investment manager at Merseyside Special Investment Fund, MSIF.
Yeah,
and that was in 2003. Spent quite a long 12 years there, which was enjoyable again, meeting lots of lovely people. And then again, after 12, 13 years, it was time to move on. So I got a job with Grant Thornton in the business growth team. But unfortunately, like everything in our region, everything I've done has been European funded since I left the bank. So you never guaranteed your lifespan in a role,
Yeah.
Anyway, as it happened, GT, one of the things I was doing was European funded, and it was cut by George Osborne. I remember the day well. We were in London in the Barbican, and we were on a team away day, and I'm quite spooky and quite I have feelings when things are going to happen.
You too.
Yeah, I do a lot. I guess. Yeah, I'm quite student.
Goosebumps there.
On the train going down to London that morning, I said, something's not right. I've got a bad feeling in my stomach that something isn't right today. And we get to the Barbican and everything was getting delayed. And I went, yeah, something's happening. I know. I've had the feeling since I woke up. And then the head of GT just come into 500 of us and went, today's not happening, everyone. Today's not happening, and from immediate effect, you're under redundancy.
No.
Yeah.
On a team away day?
Yeah. So he said, but the $2,000 is still behind the bar at the Rabbit and Jug. What's the pub? Anyway, cut a long story short, he ended up someone had to give me a fireman's lift home because I actually did enjoy the free bar.
Right, drink the 2000.
You got
What's it called? The Juggered here, or I can't remember the pub name outside the Barbican. And I had to go back and get my suitcase and my jacket because I left it all there from the night before.
Oh.
Anyway, cut a long story short, they did actually offer me a job permanently, GT. After all that, they did. But then at the same time, I went over with some other colleagues from MSIF who were thinking of leaving to win a contract with the Isle of Man government delivering an investment fund. Right, and this is so. We all go over. We were in the tender process. We did our speech and we won. And so I was like, do I stay with GT or do I go to Spark Impact and become an investment manager again? I chose the investment manager route again. And there again was another chapter of my life. 3.5 years on the Isle of Man.
We were howling about this.
You have to move to the Isle of Man when you work there.
Commuted.
I commuted. I know. It was the funniest, but hardest, most challenging 3.5 years ever. Honestly, I don't really make things easy for myself in this life. Everyone, honestly.
Chris, hang on a minute. When you say you commuted, did you go Monday to Friday, or?
I used to get up on a Monday, and I'd be at my desk in the Isle of Man for 9 o'clock. I used to get the 8:15 flight in the morning, which landed like half an hour later, and then the taxi into Douglas. And then I'd come home either like 3 or 4 days later. Yeah, and we had a flat in the harbour in Douglas, which was just a hoot. Do you know what? I look back and think, what am I doing? You know, especially in the winter. But you know what? I've got some really good memories and some absolutely corking stories, I can tell you. It's odd. Sorry, I hope everyone's from the Isle of Man, but there was some interesting things that happened, and I wouldn't have missed it for the world, to be honest.
Jane Smith's listening in. So Jane Smith says, I loved it when Chris had their Isle of Man job. She helped me massively.
Oh, it was such, you know what? I wouldn't, at the time I used to think I'd be lying in bed on my own in this flat in the midst of winter with the foghorns going off, thinking, what the hell? Why aren't you at home in bed? What's going on? They're like howling wolves outside. No, honestly, there were some stories I could take up, but I think they're a bit X-rated for this. So
yeah, it's a bit early. We haven't got the 9 o'clock short.
It's not 9 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what a shame, though.
Did I tell you that story, Helen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll tell you that.
So we were howling about the Isle of Man. We were just like in aesthetics about it.
Yeah. So throughout, like, probably the last 20 years, I've always volunteered for as well. And I volunteer for the Prince's Trust. And actually, I should give a shout out for one of the young business people I mentor, but I'll do that later. Yeah. And I always volunteered for the School of Entrepreneurship in Liverpool, John Moores. So 3.5 years later, the contract was finished with the Isle of Man government, and it was done, and that was it. I was getting made redundant because it finished. Yeah. But again, the government asked me to stay and work for them. I was like, oh no, thank you, but no, thank you. I think it's time to move on. Anyhow, I contacted LJMU, spoke to Emma Robinson, who probably quite a few and said, Emma, you're going to have to get me on my personal email now when you want me to do any voluntary work with the entrepreneurs. Because I used to sit on the panel there and be a pretend dragon. Yeah, it was great. I used to love it. And some of the ideas the graduates had were just
phenomenal.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And then she just come back to me and she said, I suppose you've got a job. I said, I haven't actually. My job now is to go and sit on a beach and think about what to do next.
Yeah.
Because by the time I come back from holiday, I started work at LJMU. And that's how I got from there to there. And that was probably the quickest way I could actually condense it all.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Geraldine Fuller's listening. Sorry, son. Geraldine Fuller's listening in. And she says, loving watching my gorgeous, talented ex-colleague on here.
She's been on the show as well.
Yeah. We all had fun at MSIF, didn't we, Geraldine?
Yeah, I can imagine you two working together all my days.
How long have you been at John Moore's now, Chris?
So it was 4 years, April gone. So just over 4 years now. I started there doing Activate, which was the digital innovation grant. So I used to do the grants with LCR Activate. When that finished, during lockdown. I worked for the business school. And the business school, they were fantastic actually, and said, please don't go, will you stay? And we've got this new leadership and growth fund, and we'd like you to deliver it for us. So then they let me, I do odd jobs until it started, And so here we are. We're 2 years into it. It's been tough, to say the least. I'm not going to lie. But we've got 6 months left. Well, we've got till the end of December to fully invest this £1.4 million upskilling project. And, it's free. And sometimes I feel because it's free, people don't realise the benefit of it or the importance of it. Because, it is tough. When something's free, people will decide, they'll sign up, but then they don't turn up because it's free. So
Chris, say someone's watching who's in business now, who knows nothing about this, or they've got a family member who's in business and they want to tell them about it. Just describe it to someone who's not in the know. And say for them.
I'll do it in layman's terms. What we've got is we are offering Institute of Leadership and Management accredited level 2 and level 3 courses. Fully funded, no cost. If you were to get a level 2 accreditation by someone else or another body, it costs you about £700. If you to get level 3, it costs you about £1,100. And so we're providing all of that training and courses completely free and fully funded, because it's part funded by the European Social Fund and is the last of those monies. So it's LJMU and ESF funding, and that's why it's free.
And what level are those qualifications? That level?
Well, it's Sitting Guilds, so and it's actually universally recognised. So if you were to get that accreditation here and go abroad, you could prove it that they would recognise it in Europe and across the world. So obviously getting up to 4 and 5, 6, so university would deliver at level 6 and 7, which is degree level. But it is the stepping stone to other accreditation. So we were given this project by the Combined Authority to upskill. We've got all future leaders here within our region. We're the old ones getting out of this. But I'm passionate about our future leaders and our future of the region, and we are lacking in skills. There is a skill shortage, and hence the need to tap into this.
Definitely, and it's been tough, hasn't it, for the young people who possibly were maybe 18, 19, 20 during the COVID times, and they've lost like 3 years of their education. And I think I've just done the Growth Catalyst with Liverpool Uni about management and leadership, and loved every single minute of it. It was just amazing. And it's about going and opening those doors to other things. So by going and doing those like level 2 and level 3, you're more qualified. You never, you're going to learn stuff no matter what level you are. And then hopefully, it'll go. But Kenny Lawler's listening. And he says, who can access it and is it full time?
Right. Okay. So if you're 18 plus and you live and work in the Liverpool City region, you can access it. Okay. That's as wide as it goes. Okay. You can access it. Obviously, it's not a full-time course. So when we first launched, you learn by what people want in the region, because we're all busy.
Yeah.
We're all coming out of a pandemic. So when we did it over like 4 weeks of half days, people would drop out or they've got work commitments. Because this is like for people who are team leaders or someone who is a sole trader. You could be a head, because the level 3 really is if you're a manager of people, and level 2 is the start of it. So what we do now, we've got 2 options. You either come for the whole day, just one day, and I'll tell you all about the different days and what. It's so much to tell you, actually. It's that much we've got.
As well.
Yeah, so it's
fun. And you get your dinner, don't you, Chris?
Yeah, you get your dinner. And it's Deli Fonseca as well.
I'm in. It's Deli Fonseca.
Yeah. We start at 9:30. Try to aim about 4:30. If anyone's got any childcare issues, we let them go and we'll give them the last bit by email. Because while you're there, we onboard you onto the Institute of Leadership Management platform, so that you can then go away and finish it away. But you have a solid day with us, have a lunch, have breaks, and then it's up to you then to go away and do the assignment yourself. But you don't just go away and you're on your own. The tutors support you throughout and do Zooms with you at convenient times. So we're just doing 1 unit at a time, so that if you wanted to, say, for example, we've got a unit on conflict management in July, and then you want to do motivation after you've passed that unit, you just come and do as many as you want. And it's all throughout the year. But what's quite unique about this is, while we have all these open cohorts that we deliver in Hardman House in Liverpool, our new build, LJMU's Hardman House, we actually go into businesses. So last week, we went into an IT company in Cotton Exchange and delivered just to 10 of their staff. Because for nothing, because I was talking to the director and he went, you know what, I could really do with, what is leadership, because I've got 10 team leaders and all of them, it's anonymous feedback on a scanner, and all of the feedback's been really, really good. So, we go, as I was talking before, MCT is, we go out to the third sector, and we go out to socially excluded, to 18 plus that have never even, they left school at like 14, we've got nothing. So we do managing yourself level 2.
Brilliant.
And it's about it. We stress to them, it's not about punctuation, it's not about grammar. We just want to know. We know that you've got it here. We know. So you can dictaphone it, or you can speak to someone and someone type it for them. And we've got young entrepreneurs, 18, who've never had any credit, anything, no exam, nothing. And now they've got, they've actually passed the level 2 on managing yourself.
That's
so
fantastic.
what we did last year, we got them all into the university, and we did a graduation for them.
Wow, how lovely.
Do you know what? It makes me like so proud of these to get that. And then this one young girl said, she turned around to me, she goes, "Oh, do you know what, Chris? My mum said I'd never get to university, and here I am with a certificate." And do you know what? The actual Pro Vice Chancellor actually did the presentation for them as well.
And we spoke about that, Chris, and Kenny's listening, and he says, that's great. Many thanks, Chris. He works with 18 to 21, 25-year-olds, and he'd love to find out more. And we'll connect you, Kenny. And Kenny works with those, sort of maybe some of the young people who have left school, they haven't got the qualifications. And some people are frightened of education and things. And we said, people can do it on a dictaphone, or they can, you know, the tutors are geared to help them achieve, aren't they? You know, so they're taking the barriers away. Yeah.
Well, sorry, I was just going to say, Chris, it's like with management training as well. Sometimes if someone's good at a job, they get a promotion or they get on. You're not necessarily taught how to manage people as such, and that's quite important. And if you're dealing with conflict or on how to avoid that, you know, and I think those skills should be taught to everyone.
So the actual nature of this project is that it reaches absolutely everyone, because we actually went into a firm of solicitors, you know, and delivered level 3 leadership management. And it was for newly qualified, you know, lawyers.
Yeah.
They're very educated people.
Yeah, it doesn't mean people though.
But have they ever been managers of people? Yeah. They pass their certain, whether it's property, commercial, you know, whatever their forte, whether it's family law, whatever, and then boom, they're given 4 people to look after. Because the qualified solicitors, lawyers, and then so we actually have been. So this is how diverse this project is. So we've gone in-house to a firm of solicitors, we've gone in-house to a charity, and we've gone in-house to an IT company. Brilliant. And we do. It's as flexible as anyone wants it.
Which is
brilliant. We need to spend this money.
Brilliant. So Kenny's just typed back and he said, that'd be great. Thanks, Helen. There's a lot to be said for giving people a sense of worth and increasing their self-esteem. This sounds amazing. And we always say, don't we, you know, so me personally, I'll do anything for a certificate or a sticker, you know, but I think some people, you know, who have never had a certificate or it's been a long time and it's a massive achievement, and people need to be recognized for their achievements. And it is that little, you know, that girl, you know, somebody said that she'll never go to uni. And then all of a sudden she's at a graduation and she's getting a certificate. That's how she feels about that, and then she'll share that with other people, and she'll say, "Well, if I can do it, you can do it." And it's about spreading that, isn't it?
And do you know what, Helen? You know, some of these young entrepreneurs at MCT have come and done a level 3. They passed their 2, they've done 3, and one of them actually went to university.
Oh,
honestly, the impact that this project's been over in Birkenhead has been unreal. And I just feel sad that we've never had the exposure to how, I think people see it as a university, but it's something we've never done before. So the tutors are the right tutors. You know, we had a restaurant in Liverpool where 3 people attended where English wasn't their first language, and the guy started crying when he passed his level 2. But the support he got was from the tutor was massive, and it's about the right people in place delivering this for us, you know.
And you change someone's life, you know, by that. And sometimes people are, you know, I worked in education, I was a teacher, etc., and some people feel that your academic qualifications are everything that defines you, and it's absolutely not, especially in business. You know, some of the most innovative, most intelligent people, you know, left school with not, if you don't mind me saying, you're a brilliant role model, actually, because you said at the beginning, you said you left school without O-levels. And for any young ones, GCSEs is the honour, and you know you were kept on and you worked damn hard.
I've worked damn hard.
You know, to do what you've done, though. But so you have to work hard. But so somebody could have had a great load of qualifications and never achieved what you've done, be helping everyone you are now. So I think it's wonderful, and I think people need to realise intelligence comes in all types and all forms, and we've all got something different to bring to the table. And it doesn't matter if you haven't got qualifications. You know, I did a lot better through work, through vocational stuff, and went to uni later because I was given the confidence in my job with the training I did, you know. So I'm a great believer in that. I think it's absolutely wonderful. If someone's interested now and they want to do it, how do we find out? I mean, Helen will share the link, but what do they do? Who do they speak to?
Well, we have got we've got an email, which is because we're under the umbrella of the Combined Authority. Right. So whilst it is LJMU, it's called, the project's called LCR Enhance.
Oh, right.
Okay. So if you just Google that, it'll go to our webpage on the LJMU website. But I'm a people person, and I would rather someone just email me direct, to be honest, because then I know I'll be looking after them properly. Yeah,
definitely. So if people want to get in touch, they can message us, and we'll share your email with them, and you know, make those connections, or you know, they can look for you on LinkedIn and stuff like that. But there's loads. There you go. We'll share that, Sam. We'll share that that link on our page. And Chris, we were talking about, you know, you've got these amazing qualifications and you know, all the other bits, but then you've also got the summer school, haven't you? Which did it start last?
Yeah. What's that?
So we've got, this is everything that we provide accredited. So we also have a summer school every year, and we piloted it last year. I'm going to look for the info. So what we've got, it's until the 16th of June, and it's a series of workshops, all delivered by the academics. So they're all really good fun as well. So I'm just trying to, there's that much of the
Still, I find it on my email. I did have a little email.
Here it is.
Have you got it?
So it started on Friday last week.
Yeah.
And it's until next Friday. And the workshop's like at 10 till 2 o'clock. Again, it's you get lunch. So everything we provides Tucker. So good. Okay, so for example, today it was driving your digital marketing today. And it was, you have to bring your laptop. It was taking you through how to do your QR codes. So basically, what it says on the tin, driving your digital marketing. So then tomorrow we've got how to lead a sustainable and ethical business. And we've got, so they kind of repeat each other each week. And we've got getting the best from others, aspiring others. And they're all sort of motivated workshops, really, for people in business, whether, or, you know, driving digital marketing, or one of them is about leading from wherever you stand and giving yourself confidence as well. So we've got these going on every day until then. And again, it's we could send the link to it.
I'll share the link on Success in this, or we'll share the link on Success in the City's page. So, Chris, if somebody wanted to come to one of them, you know, and maybe didn't have time, and can they dip in and out of just like odd ones?
Yeah. So I had a guy last week from a company in Knowsley, and he's going to the Sustainable and Ethical Business Practice tomorrow, and then he's going to another one next week. So you can dip in and dip out. You don't have to go to all of them. It's basically whatever fits for you as a business.
So what are we looking for on here for that summer school then? What's it called?
It is called the LCR Enhanced Summer School. I'm going to have to send the link for this.
I've got you sent me the digital copy, so I've got the timetable of what's on. So, but I could potentially, I can get that and share that on our thing, so people can have a little look.
Eventbrite link for it as well.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. It's on Eventbrite, LCR Leadership Programme.
Perfect. So we'll share that link as well. Because I think it's great, even for some people who, you know, they just want to go meet some new people. They want to just, you know, dip in and have a little skill, or, you know, for us, Sandra, you know, we're both the same. We just love to learn and just go to new places. Somebody might never have been to the university or accessed anything in there. It's a nice little way as an introduction into it, isn't it?
You get your dinner.
Yeah, no, but that's why we go out into the boroughs as well, because we want everyone to access it. And some people may find it daunting going into a university, and whilst it's not, because we're very informal what we do and how we deliver it. The reason we go out to like Birkenhead and we use Edgerton House, we go out to Knowsley, we go out to Halton, we go everywhere, is so that everyone accesses it and doesn't feel intimidated. Because some people will go, I'm not going into university.
Yeah.
Breaking the barriers, isn't it? Breaking the barriers to everything, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. What might give the person confidence then in the future, if they do well, to then take the next step, you know, bit by bit, if you want to.
Stone.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's excellent.
You know,
brilliant.
It's a busy time, but it's an exciting time. And I just really want everyone to tap into it, you know.
So is there a deadline to all of this, Chris?
Well, yeah, so it's probably going to be, whilst we are funded till December, realistically, you know, we'll have to cut it off about October, November, because the accreditation, some people might take 5 weeks or 6 weeks, even though it's only like 1,000-word answer and question and answer to get the accreditation. Some people take longer than the 6 weeks. So, you know, we're going to have to reassess it in October, whether we finish or we still allow people.
Oh, is Kevin, my friend? He's been on as well, Kev. At my MCT, I've had the pleasure of working alongside Christine Walters and the amazing team at Liverpool, John Moores University. Can't say it.
Oh, is Kevin on? Is he?
Yeah,
Kev Rogers is listening. Yeah.
I've known him a long time.
We've had loads of questions today.
Talking about MCT, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So honestly, I love working with MCT. It's just the best.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So we'll share out all of the links, and if anybody wants to get in touch who's listening, then they can get in touch with one of us and we'll share information and stuff like that. But, no, amazing, and keep on doing the fabulous work that you're doing, especially with the young entrepreneurs. We love all that. It's like exciting to see all
the most important. They are important, so important to this region and our future growth. And I love that it's their ideas that will make it even better, our region, isn't it?
Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to do a shout out to the grown-ups. Any grown-ups who've been amazing this week that you want to give a shout out to? Do you have any grown-ups that you want to shout out to, Chris?
Well, John Lowe, he's on, definitely. No, all my lovely best friends that I've got, and all the lovely women in our region that we are, I couldn't too many to mention. But what I will just say is that if anyone on, I was in awe of my colleague today, Maxine Sharples, who bought a pound house, and she's on YouTube, and through her journey of living in a camper van, she blew me away today. So I'm giving Maxine Sharples a big shout out today.
We might have to get Maxine Sharples on the show.
I took the words out of my mouth because I really want to see the video as well.
Do you know what? She works one day. She works 1 day a week for me at the university, and the other day she does yoga as well. And she's really is an interesting person. So.
Give Maxine a little nudge for her to come on.
Oh, well, she's great. She's very interesting.
Brilliant. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Sam, have you got any grown-ups that you want to shout out to?
I haven't thought this through today. I'm ill prepared.
I go first then while you have a think.
Okay. Whilst my brain goes.
So I'd like to give a shout out to Baltic Ventures and One Tech. So they put an amazing workshop on Saturday. And it was one of the hottest days in the year and it was gorgeous, but they delivered a phenomenal workshop, and it was the Startup Boot Camp. And I went on it, even though I've been in business for a while. I went on because I always like to learn fresh ideas and new things and meet new people and stuff. And what they were talking about was really interesting. And I think to keep everybody engaged on that day, in the sun and everything like that, the speakers they had were brilliant. They had experts in their field who come in, and all those people are given their time. And it was just a room full of really cool people. But the people delivering the course were really cool as well. And we all started the day by playing the startup game, and then we all got our own copy of the startup game.
That was not fun.
Yeah. So the lady, Emma, she designed it and brought it to market, and it's got an app and everything like that. It was dead clever. You need a good length of time to play it. But she was amazing, and dead cool people. So I'm going to give a massive shout out to Baltic Ventures and One Tech.
Brilliant. I've thought of it all on because there was quite a few. I'm going to give a shout out to Paul Askew from the art school, because I was at this meeting with him and Brian last Wednesday. And he was talking about saying, you know, we don't have a Michelin star restaurant in Liverpool. And he has been championing the quality of food in this city. And he was saying he had people from Eurovision there the night before. And he said they was astounded. They could get, it didn't enter their head they would get food like this in our city. And they're from all over Europe. So they had this pre-perception of what type of food they were going to be given. Clearly beans, obviously. Anyway, but the food they had was amazing. And he was saying, they were like, oh, this is fabulous. And I think they're going to go away and tell other people, well, actually, you can get this, you can have this. And so a shout out for him, because he's fought hard since he was 16 years old to make a food a priority in our area as well, seeing the value it brings to the economy locally. So a shout out to him.
Brilliant. And hopefully he might come on as a guest, mightn't he? Hopefully.
He's booked on, Paul,
which is brilliant. You know, that's like
now.
No. So what book podcast are you listening to at the moment?
Right.
Share with
this
us?
Is going to be funny, actually. I brought it upstairs. Yeah.
Good.
Right. So whilst I was in Ibiza, I acquired a book because I wanted something to read on the beach. And is John Lowe still on?
He might be.
He dips in and out.
Panic.
He goes.
Right. So I've just started it. I started it just on the plane coming back, because you know you kind of like read a little bit at the back, because I love a good thriller, mate.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a thriller woman, and this is about. It starts off where
it's a novel.
Oh, it's great. I don't know all the answers to it yet. Obviously, I'll tell you next time I'm on. Basically, young in America. I think the mother's in Texas. He's in Houston, and the mother rings and going, "Quick, you need to get home. You need to get home now." And so he gets home. He gets home to a hitman killing his mum, then putting him a noose around his neck, going to kill him. And then someone else comes in the room, saves him, drags him in the car. And then it's starting to unravel that his mum and dad aren't the people he thinks they are. And the girlfriend he was living with isn't the person he thinks she is. And I love a good twist. And so I'm at that stage where I found out his girlfriend's not his girlfriend either, but I still don't know why.
Spoiler alert for anyone who's just started.
I'm a thriller, so yes, I'll finish. I will tell you what happens. When
definitely. We need to know. Well, I don't want to know. You can just pass the book on to us, and then we can have a read. Brilliant.
It's definitely a holiday book, you know, when you're like,
good. A little bit of
Helen.
So my uncle Ron gave me John Grisham's new one, the Judge List, I think it's called. So I'm reading that, but alongside that, I'm reading Wanna Teach PE.
Oh yeah.
So that's me sort of like a book that I'm reading at the moment. And then I've just finished on me Audible. You know the fella who was the Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
And it's called The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. And he is phenomenal. He's amazing. And he does it all because he's like in a New York accent as well. So that helps loads. But it's all about like sale, how to speak to people and you know, how to sell to people and things like that. But in a and he does the straight line theory and stuff. So it's really super interesting. So I really loved that. It was really, really good. So I've just finished that. So I'm waiting for my new credit, which I think comes on the 7th or the 8th on Audible to download my next one. So if anyone's got any suggestions on.
Wow. You took the words out of my mouth, because I've just finished Shoemaker, the Joe Foster.
What did you think?
Right, so in the end, I'll let you know I didn't enjoy it, but then at the end I did. But I think compared to Shoe Dog, the guy who did Film Night, that was an amazing story. But there were similarities at the end. But I felt the Film Night was more, his account was more his emotional journey in business as well, where the other guy was like, I neglected my wife, he got divorced, blah, blah, blah. And I got that at the end. But you know, but it was okay. It was a good read. I'd advise people to follow it definitely, because it's the long-term struggle, isn't it, in business? Yeah. And now, you know, I listen to business books and stuff all the time. Well, somebody recommended this on telly, said, and it's happy. Oh no, not that one. Happiness Becomes You by Tina Turner, not your chakras. Happiness Becomes You by Tina Turner, and he said it was one of the best things ever. And he said it on telly, so I thought, right. So I might do that, which is a bit different for me.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Brilliant. Okay. So I want to say a massive, massive thank you again, Chris, for giving up your time. You've been amazing. I knew it would be hilarious. I know we've had a ball. So do you have a positive quote, little mantra that you can close the show with?
Well, I've got a couple of things. Obviously, one of my main things is treat people how you want to be treated. And that's one of my biggest things, because I don't get people who are nasty, and I don't get it.
Yeah,
just couldn't get that. But one of them is live for today as tomorrow may never happen, because I am a bit of a live for today girl.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So Kenny Lawler says, thanks, folks, and take care. So Kenny, we'll link you and Chris together.
We will share all those links now for you.
Oh, thank you.
So massive thank you. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see everybody next week.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Right, I will end.